Welcome back to Inside Politics. Our guest today, Vice Mayor David Briley. Vice Mayor Briley, we have another proposal that's sort of in the works in Metro, hasn't come to the council yet. That's the redevelopment of the old Greer Stadium baseball site. It's gotten to be quite controversial even before it gets to you. Is this something that you're sort of happy you get these other things out of the way first before it comes? It looks like it won't get here until after this archaeological study is going to be done.
Right. I think that's one that requires more work, frankly, before it comes to the council.
Yeah, all 5 of the at-large members have sent the mayor a letter some months ago saying this probably needs to be pulled back and relooked at again. Is that where you are as well about this?
That's where I am too. I think there are a whole lot of issues that have percolated up there. One, the sense the community is maybe moving a little bit too fast. There's the question about whether or not we would use parkland for private development. I think some people are very concerned about that. And then there is the question of the heritage of the site itself, and is that being appropriately acknowledged in terms of the development that's coming forward. You know, fortunately for us as a community, we have so much development going on right now. We're not gonna see a sort of downturn in our economy as a result of a delay there.
You're the presiding officer over one of the largest metropolitan councils in the entire country. You've been in the council before. You were an at-large member for 8 years. Has being vice mayor been what you thought it was going to be, or running that body getting to be more like herding cats than perhaps operating a meeting or board meeting?
I love it. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I tell everybody that the council is a pretty accurate cross-section of the community you live in. So there are people I agree with completely, and there are ones I don't agree with. But it's a good group of people. They are all, with only the rarest exception, always trying to do what's right for the city. Occasionally, well, somebody might get out of line, but generally it's a good group of people. You've
begun or changed the tradition about council's chairmanships. They used to be 1-year terms and it moved around every year. Now you've allowed for multiple year terms for a single chairman.
Right.
Has that worked out pretty well? It seems like when you did finally make a change in some of those after you gave them 2 years, there were the immediate rumors and stories out there of, oh, there's a feud going on or something.
The one that came that was reported, or where there was a headline that might have indicated that, was Budget and Finance, and
which is always the greater among equals among all the chairmen.
That's right. And so Councilman John Cooper, in my opinion, did a great job as Budget and Finance chair and started some changes in terms of process that will benefit the city for a long time. So I had no problem with Councilman Cooper. And
you have to balance things off a little bit because of term limits. If you don't get a lot of your first-term people into chairmanships sometime, in some cases early in their terms, first terms, by the time they get to second terms, you've got people coming in the next term who've never chaired a committee.
Right, and so that's part of the balance. The other part is that we have a couple of committees where there are issues that warrant more attention. So, for example, health hospitals, I've left Council Lady Gilmore there for 3 years now, and she'll probably do all 4 years there. And that's because General Hospital and the Meharry relationship remains something that is in flux and requires a lot of attention. Same true for Public Works.
Your toughest responsibility as Vice Mayor is appointing leadership to these committees, or is it something else?
That is one of the most difficult things. The other is figuring out a way to have influence over the direction of the city without the ability to file legislation or vote.
You have a very famous last name in metro government and metro politics. So your grandfather was the county judge, the original first mayor of consolidated metropolitan government, Beverly Briley. What are your memories of him?
Well, I remember every Sunday going to his house and my grandmother's house for dinner as a family. Virtually every time we would arrive, he would be smoking a cigarette and watching NFL football. He was a big smoker, much to his own demise. It was the result of his death.
Did you pay attention to, did you talk to him about politics? Did he try to encourage you about politics?
He did not. And in fact, I think, wanted us to stay as far away from it as we possibly could.
And that's where your dad was, too.
My dad stayed as far away from it as he possibly could. Both my brother and I eventually got involved in some respect.
So it was more your genes than a personal encouragement from your grandfather to get into all that?
In the sense of being interested in public policy, and both my brother and I ended up being lawyers, so it opens that door to you.
And your grandfather was a lawyer as well, so again, the acorns fell pretty close to the tree. On all
now, he was reported to me the youngest lawyer in the state of Tennessee, and had to petition the state legislature to allow him to take the bar at a very early age back in the 30s. So he was one of a kind in many respects.
You've already run for mayor once in this community. You have a chance to run for another term as vice mayor if you would like to do so. Is that more what you'd be looking to do in your immediate future before taking another look at the other big job down in that courthouse?
Well, I plan to run for re-election in 2 years, and then beyond that, I don't really have any immediate plans.
Now, you were at a recent groundbreaking for an affordable housing event where you sort of broke down emotionally and apologized for the city's lack of affordable housing. Why did that particular issue motivate you that way?
Well, I think it was reported that I broke down emotionally. I think I probably had something in my throat, or frankly, I was not that emotional. It was an emotional speech, I will say that. Okay,
thank you for joining us. Good luck for the many projects you've got ahead of you for you and the council to tackle, and we'll have you back here again soon.
Thank you.
And thank you for joining us here on Inside Politics. Hope you can be back here again for a future show. If you can't get enough politics in the meantime, go to the News Channel 5 website. You'll find my Capitol View commentary there. There's a new commentary posted every Friday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back here next time. Goodbye.